Hello and a very good morning. You're watching the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Let's begin with this morning's headlines. DGMO level talks between India and Pakistan to begin in Delhi. India to raise ceasefire violations with Pakistan. Five-phased elections to be held in Bihar beginning on October 12th. Results to be out on November 8th. Prime Minister to inaugurate World Hindi Conference in Bhopal today. Event being attended by noted Hindi scholars from all over the world. Denmark blocks all rail links to Germany to stop refugee flow. This even as the EU Parliament passes plan for swift comprehensive response to tackle the problem. Sania Mirza and Martina Hingis will vie for their second successive Grand Slam after Wimbledon. The duo enter the US Open finals. Shock exit for world number 5 Petra Kvitova in the women's singles quarters. First up in the bulletin this morning, the India-Pakistan DGMO level talks will begin in Delhi today. India is expected to flag the ceasefire violations and cross-border infiltrations during the meet. These talks are being held after NSA-level talks were called off following escalating tensions between the two sides. Here's the report.
A high-level delegation of 16 Pakistani rangers arrived in New Delhi for the DGMO talks on Thursday. They were earlier received at the Atari-Wagah border by senior BSF commanders. Rangers Director General Umar Farooq Burki is leading the Pakistani side.
बातचीत होनी है, बातचीत से ही हल होना है. तो मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है अथॉरिटी से कि बातचीत करें और कोई पुख्ता हल निकालें ताकि बॉर्डर पर शांति बनी रहे, यहाँ के लोग रसें बसें.
It is the first interaction between the two nations after the failed NSA talks. Pakistan is still pressing for inclusion of Kashmir issue in the talks.
This is a confidence building steps. We are all hopeful for a better outcome of the talks. So let us hope that they will respond positively. We have already identified all those important points to be placed before the Pakistani counterparts.
However, opposition parties remain skeptical and are questioning why the Modi government is acting under pressure from Pakistan.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi must tell the country that on one hand, Pakistan at the level of their army chief, at the level of their defense minister, at the level of their national security advisor, is threatening India with war. On the other hand, his government is engaging in a negotiation at the level of the Director Generals of the Border Security Force. Why is this government talking to Pakistan?
बॉर्डर पे तो होता है, गोले बरसते हैं तब भी बैठक होती है. ये कोई बैठक वैसी नहीं है. ये तो रेंजर्स और बीएसएफ की मीटिंग स्वतः होती है. पाकिस्तान अपनी हरकत से बाज आए. वो अगर हरकत से बाज नहीं आएगा तो जवाब मिलता है.
The two Director Generals will be talking after a gap of over 1.5 years. The last time they did so was in Lahore in December 2013. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, moving on to our other big focus now, let's bring you the latest as far as the Bihar elections are concerned. Well, the Election Commission has announced the dates for the Bihar Assembly polls today, enforcing the Model Code of Conduct with immediate effect. Starting from October 12th, the elections will be held in 5 phases in 243 constituencies. The results will be out on November 8th. Here are the details.
The poll pitch is already high in Bihar. Two key alliances have been holding rallies across the state for the past 1 month. Time has come up to step up the campaign as the Election Commission has released dates for the assembly polls.
Coming Bihar election will be conducted in 5 phases. For phase 1 election in Bihar, the date of notification will be 16th September 2015 and date of poll would be 12th October 2015, that is Monday, and date of poll would be 16th October 2015, which is Friday.
Being one of the states prone to Maoist insurgency, adequate measures have been taken to ensure peaceful and fair polling.
out of 243 assembly constituencies, 47 assembly constituencies are affected by left-wing extremism, and 29 districts out of 38 districts are covered under this left-wing extremism. The Commission has made more than adequate arrangement of central paramilitary forces. The central paramilitary forces will man all polling stations.
During the last assembly polls, ruling JDU contested in alliance with BJP. But the scenario changed before the Lok Sabha polls last year when the two decided to end their 17-year-old alliance. While BJP gained massively, JDU had a major face loss, forcing Chief Minister Nitish Kumar to step down. However, all that's changed now with a new alliance in place. BJP is also keen to restore the political momentum in favor of Modi government after suffering loss in Delhi polls.
चुनाव की तारीखों का ऐलान हो गया, खुशी की बात है। मॉडल कोड लागू हो गया, कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट लागू हो गया। बिल्कुल हम लोग अब निश्चिंत होकर के सिर्फ और सिर्फ चुनाव में अपना पूरा समय दे पाएंगे। ऑफ कोर्स जो इसेंशियल विषय होते हैं गवर्नेंस के, उसके लिए जो दायित्व है उसको निभाते हुए अपना सारा करें।
इंतजार था इसी घड़ी का और इस लड़ाई में बुरी तरह से हम लोग पराजित करेंगे भाजपा और उनके सहयोगी दलों को।
अब पुनः बिहार में विकास और विश्वास का पुल, शासन की निरंतरता, पारदर्शिता, लोकतांत्रिक मूल्य, इन सब के लिए हम परिवर्तन के लिए वोट मांगने वाले हैं।
नहीं, अच्छी बात है, मतलब ये तो होना ही था। अब समय कहाँ बचा है और हमको जो 5 चरण का है ठीक है।
The polling process will begin from October 16th when notification will be issued for the first phase of polls, which will initiate filing of nomination by candidates. The result will be out on November 8th, 3 weeks before the term of the current assembly expires. With inputs from Shyam Sundar, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, leaders of the BJP-led NDA alliance met in the national capital on Wednesday to hold discussions on the seat-sharing agreement for the upcoming polls. This was, however, an informal meet and a final decision will be reached in the next 2 or 3 days.
गठबंधन को लेकर क्या स्थिति है सर? कहा जा रहा है कि सीटों का तालमेल अभी तक
हो जाएगा, बहुत जल्दी हो जाएगा, 2-3 दिन में हो जाएगा।
कितनी सीटों पे लड़ेंगे मांझी जी?
अभी पहले ही हम कह दें,
कितनी सीटों
कल फिर आवेंगे, कल बैठक होने वाली है, कल तय होगा।
Well, joining me for a chat this morning to talk about the Bihar polls and all the latest as far as the poll-bound Bihar is concerned is JP Yadav of The Telegraph. JP Yadav, thank you for joining me on the program, and let's talk about the polls in Bihar now. Of course, the Election Commission announced a 5-phase of polling yesterday, and all parties seem to be in overdrive now. But the problem really as far as the NDA alliance is concerned is that they have still not finalized the seat-sharing equation. Are there some problems there as far as seat sharing is concerned?
There certainly is a problem because as you can see, there are disparate elements who have joined the BJP. The principal irritant are the two Dalit leaders, Manjhi and Ramvilas Paswan. Both are claiming we are greater Dalit leaders. So there are irritants, but I believe they will sort it out. When alliances are formed, these kind of bickerings and demands for seats is normal in political alliances. So it will all depend how much each of them can bargain with the BJP, because BJP is the senior partner, and these things happen. It will be sorted out, I believe.
What do you believe are the main hurdles as far as the BJP is concerned, as far as this NDA alliance in Bihar is concerned?
See, the main hurdle, lot of seats, it's a clash with the BJP too. Lot of seats where its allies have their strength. The BJP also has its strength there because BJP has won those seats in the past. Those have been so-called BJP forte. But the alliances, their social coalitions or the caste coalitions they represent, they also are dominant in that region. So they would be hankering for those seats. We want these seats to contest, and the BJP cannot leave those seats. So it's a difficult game to sort out the seat sharing. But given they have already taken positions, they have to fight now. They cannot change alliances at this moment.
Indeed.
So there will be some here and there give and take, and it will be sorted out.
You know, the Battle of Bihar is going to be a battle between two alliances, the NDA as well as the Mahagathbandhan there in Bihar. But the question really is, where do the parties really stand at the moment and who believes that their nose is ahead of the other?
It's a battle between two alliances, but more than that, it's a battle between Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, and Nitish Kumar, the Chief Minister of India. I see it as a culmination of the battle that started in 2013 when Nitish Kumar walked out of the NDA alliance, virtually challenging Modi, I cannot accept you. So this will be in a culmination. Modi himself is fighting the election in Bihar, if you see. It's not the BJP or the NDA that way. He himself has put his whole persona at stake in Bihar. He is in a way for that that parting the bitter split that Nitish Kumar had with the BJP. That in a way it will culminate who dominates. Nitish Kumar in Bihar. Nitish Kumar is wanting to say this is my land. Here my politics rules. But Modi is out to prove that no, I'll capture your land also.
Indeed. You know, as far as the Mahagathbandhan is concerned, do you think that they've been dealt a blow with the Samajwadi Party, of course, walking out of that alliance, and also the left parties deciding to come together and contest in more than 220 seats out of the 243 seats in Bihar?
Certainly, it's not more than the votes, the Samajwadi Party walking out. It's a psychological blow to the Janata Parivar, the unity of the so-called Mandal forces or the Janata forces. That has got a blow by Mulayam CA, and certainly the left parties also, who have been hankering for secularism and fighting the communal forces, they have realized that this is the period where the communal forces have to, they are the principal enemy at the moment for the left forces. But the position they have taken in Bihar, they ultimately end up benefiting the communal forces only, which they call the communal forces in their slogans. So whatever, because it's a very tough battle, it's a very keenly fought battle. Any number of votes they garner or they slice away 500, 1000, 2000, 5000 in constituencies, that will make a difference to the fight.
Indeed. All right, JP Yadav, will have to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us on the program and putting things into perspective for us as far as poll-bound Bihar is concerned. Moving on, now Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the 10th Vishwa Hindi Sammelan in Bhopal today. The three-day conference is being organized by the Ministry of External Affairs and the Madhya Pradesh government. The conference is being held for the third time in the country after a gap of 32 years. Noted Hindi scholars from across the country and the world will take part in the event. The aim of the conference is to deliberate in detail on 16 aspects of universalization of Hindi language. Major information technology companies like Google, SIDAC, Apple and Microsoft have demonstrated works done by them for Hindi. Meanwhile, elaborate security arrangements have been made for the Prime Minister's maiden visit to the city.
अब की बार का जो सम्मेलन है वो अपने आप के अंदर अलग है। इसमें भाषा की तरफ ध्यान दे रहे हैं। हम बता रहे हैं कि किस तरीके से भाषा का आधुनिकीकरण हो रहा है, कैसे कंप्यूटर्स के अंदर भाषा इस्तेमाल हो सकती है, कैसे चिकित्सा के अंदर भाषा इस्तेमाल हो सकती है।
Well, it's time for a short break now, but still to come, Rahul Gandhi on a two-day visit to Odisha to meet with farmers. That and much more on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Today we bring to you the Bureau of Indian Standards Bill 2015. these amendments were very much required, and they are long overdue.
My biggest problem with this bill is that it seeks to place several activities into a single place.
Watch Law of the Land Saturday at 6:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, even though rains have weakened and the floodwater is receding in Assam, over 1,200 villages of the state are still completely submerged in water. While the death toll has increased to 47 in the state, nearly 13 lakh people are estimated to be affected in 17 districts. However, only 93,000 people have taken shelter in 241 temporary relief camps. Addressing a press conference on Wednesday, Assam Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi accused the centre of not releasing the sanctioned 387.2 crore rupees under the NDRF for carrying out rehabilitation and restoration works after last year's floods in the state. Here's a look now at what's expected through the day in our segment, The Day Ahead. Rahul Gandhi will be on a two-day visit to Odisha. The Congress Vice President will meet with family members of farmers who committed suicide and interact with villagers in Bargarh district. He will interact with intellectuals in Burla in Sambalpur district as well. It is Congress President Sonia Gandhi's day 2 of her visit to Rai Bareli. On the first day of the visit, she attended a meeting of the Vigilance and Monitoring Committee. She also met party workers on the first day. Today, she will meet people of her constituency. Arun Jaitley will attend a function in Kochi in Kerala to announce the Karunya scheme's achievement. The scheme was launched to finance treatment expenses of poor people from the revenue earned from its Karunya lottery. The function will be inaugurated by Kerala Chief Minister Oman Chandy. A Delhi court will hear a criminal complaint seeking action against Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal for allegedly exhorting voters to take bribes from the Congress and the BJP and vote for the Aam Aadmi Party in the last assembly elections. The court had in February this year directed the police to file an action-taken report on the complaint. The police is yet to file the ATR in the case. Water from the Totapalli irrigation project in Andhra Pradesh will be released by Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu today, bringing to reality a long-cherished dream of farmers in Vizianagaram and Srikakulam districts. The long-delayed project envisaged on the Nagavalli in 2003 will irrigate an additional 1.2 lakh acres besides stabilizing the existing 60,000 acres. Moving on to some international news now. On a day when the European Parliament passed a relocation plan for migrants and called for a swift, comprehensive response to tackle the problem, Denmark blocked the rail links to Germany to stop the refugee flow. It also blocked the main motorway connecting both countries, leaving hundreds of migrants stranded. Here's more.
In a bid to stem the tide of migrants crossing over the border, wanting to go to Germany and Sweden, Denmark suspended all rail links with Germany on Wednesday. Hundreds of refugees were stranded in train carriages, forced by the police to head towards registration camps. Refusing to register with the Danish police in the fear that they would force them to seek asylum in Denmark rather than Sweden, around 300 migrants set off on foot along the Danish motorway. The authorities later closed part of the E45 motorway, which is the main road link between Germany and Denmark. The ferry service between both countries was also severely disrupted.
Jamen, det at få lov til at rejse videre til de andre nordiske lande, men som danske myndigheder er vi jo forpligtet til at foretage en registrering af de udlændinge, som rejser ind her, og vi er også forpligtet til at behandle deres sager, og det er det, som vil blive gjort efterfølgende.
A similar ordeal was faced by those crossing over into Macedonia. Hundreds of exhausted migrants were forced to spend the night in hunger and cold under barbed fence wires. Macedonia allows groups of only 50 migrants to cross over at a time, and that too at 15-minute intervals.
But hundreds of refugees arrive on a daily basis, meaning most must stay the night in the open. Amid widening rift between EU nations over how to deal with the migrant crisis, the European Parliament passed an emergency plan on Wednesday. The plan calls for relocating 40,000 refugees from Italy and Greece among its member states, but Eastern European countries such as Poland, Hungary and the Czech Republic remain resistant to the settlement of quotas.
We are not talking about 40,000, we are not talking about 120,000, it's 160,000. That's the number Europeans have to take in charge and have to take in their arms. And I really hope that this time everyone will be on board. No poems, no rhetorics. Action is what is needed for the time being.
With France having agreed to take in 24,000 migrants, a first group of about 50 refugees arrived in the country from Germany. They've been provided temporary shelters and their asylum requests are being examined by French authorities. Spain too has expressed willingness to accept the same number of refugees as France.
Yo lo que voy a pedir es decir que España va a ser solidario, no vamos a discutir las cifras. Lo que sí quiero es que haya una política global y vayamos al origen y al fondo del problema, que es lo que tengo que decir que desgraciadamente no ha hecho la Unión.
The United States has also expressed commitment to take in more Syrian refugees fleeing war in their country.
Here's a look now at what else is making news across the world in our World Wrap. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arrived in London to meet his British counterpart David Cameron amid widespread protests. Hundreds of pro-Palestine demonstrators rallied outside Downing Street, demanding Netanyahu's arrest on account of his war crimes in last summer's war in Gaza. Netanyahu is expected to discuss a host of issues ranging from diplomacy to bilateral ties with the British Prime Minister. Netanyahu also spoke on the Iran deal, saying the Iranian leadership has made it clear that it intends to destroy Israel. US President Barack Obama will present the 2014 National Medals of Arts and Humanities at the White House today. A total of 10 distinguished artists and art veterans will receive the honor. Among them is Pulitzer Prize-winning Indian-American author Jhumpa Lahiri. Lahiri will receive the award for enlarging the human story, according to a White House citation. In the first showdown of the election campaign, Myanmar's opposition leader Aung San Suu Kyi will meet voters in Kayah state today. She is expected to make 2 public speeches in Loikaw, the state capital. Suu Kyi will tour the area until Saturday. The party's headquarters in Loikaw was abuzz with activity as staff readied banners, hoisted the party flag and polished bronze statues of Suu Kyi and her father, Myanmar national hero General Aung San, ahead of the visit. Bangladesh Nationalist Party chief Khalida Zia will appear before a court in Dhaka today in connection with the Zia Charitable Trust and Zia Orphanage Trust graft cases. She was absent in the previous hearing, citing health reasons. Khalida and 2 others have been accused of abusing power to collect 6.19 crore takas for the Zia Charitable Trust during BNP's tenure from 1991 to 1996. Moving on to some sports news now. Day 10 of the US Open saw some great matches as the top seeds including Federer, Wawrinka, Halep advanced to the semi-finals. But there was a surprise when 5th-seeded Petra Kvitova suffered a shock defeat at the hands of 26th-seed Italian Flavia Pennetta. Meanwhile, the Indo-Swiss pair of Sania Mirza and Martina Hingis became the first pair to enter the US Open women's doubles finals this year, while the Indo-Romanian pair of Rohan Bopanna and Florin Mergia exited. Here's a detailed report on all the action from Day 10 at Flushing Meadows.
Top seeds Roger Federer and Stan Wawrinka will meet in an all-Swiss semi-final at the US Open after registering impressive wins over Richard Gasquet and Kevin Anderson. 17-time Grand Slam champion Roger Federer defeated Frenchman Richard Gasquet 6-3, 6-3, 6-1 in just 87 minutes without facing a single break point.
The only difference, I guess, was also I played 5 sets against Monfils on this court to this day in the quarters. So this obviously is going to help me a lot physically, also mentally to save energy, and I hope because of that I might play a better semi-finals. But I must also admit that Cilic was absolutely on fire last year.
In the other draw, Stan Wawrinka closed out his quarterfinal emphatically, begging Andy Murray's conqueror Kevin Anderson in the final set to complete a 6-4, 6-4, 6-0 victory. Both players finished with 25 winners in the match, but Wawrinka had 15 unforced errors to Anderson's 42.
I changed a few things in the game that helped me a lot tonight, and actually I was happy also to move the court because I love that court. I had a great atmosphere tonight.
In the women's draw, world number 2 Simona Halep and Italian 26th seed Flavia Pennetta will meet in the US Open semi-finals after prevailing in absorbing 3 setters. Romania's Halep overcame Belarusian Victoria Azarenka 6-3, 4-6, 6-4 in a rain-interrupted match.
It was a tough match, and you know, at this level is the highest level in tennis, so it's normal to play 3 sets, I guess. So it was a tough match. I'm really happy that I could win.
Flavia Pennetta capitalized on 2-time Wimbledon champion Petra Kvitovaa's inconsistency to win 4-6, 6-4, 6-2 and reach her second US Open semi-final. With both Pennetta and her compatriot Vinci in the last 8, 2 Italian women have made the last 4 of the same Grand Slam tournament for the first time.
I'm really happy. I mean, I didn't think to get through this match, I have to say. I mean, in the second set, I was really in trouble, but I was just keep going, playing, and I mean, it's unbelievable.
In women's doubles category, Sania Mirza, along with her Swiss partner Martina Hingis, cruised into the US Open finals after beating Italian duo Sara Errani and Flavia Pennetta 6-4, 6-1 in straight sets. However, in men's doubles play, Indo-Romanian pair of Rohan Bopanna and Florin Mergia couldn't make through to the semi-finals as they were beaten 6-7, 3-6 by British-Swiss pair of Dominic Inglot and Robert Linsett in the quarters clash. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, time now for some more overnight sports news in our Sports Beat. World number 1, Saina Nehwal defeated Thailand's Busanen 21-6, 14, 22-20 to reach the second round of the Japan Super Series. Indonesia Masters winner H.S. Pranoy also advanced to the second round after registering a 23-21, 22-20 win over Wong Wing Ki of Hong Kong. Third-seeded Kidambi Srikanth also advanced after notching up a 21-18, 21-15 win. Indian shuttler Parupalli Kashyap reached the second round of the Japan Super Series after his opponent Takuma Ueda retired hurt at the score of 3-2. PV Sindhu and the duo of Jwala Gutta and Ashwini Ponnappa, however, were ousted from the tournament after losing their respective first-round matches in the women's singles and women's doubles draw. Indians collected 2 bronze medals from the track and field events on the third day of the 5th Commonwealth Youth Games in Apia in Samoa. Abita Mary Manuel and Anamika Das bagged the bronze each in the girls' 800 meters race and shot put events respectively on the final day of the athletics competitions. With the 2 bronze, India's medal count went up to 10. That includes 4 gold, 2 silver and 4 bronze. The Indian junior women's hockey team suffered its first defeat as they were thrashed 2-4 by host China in their third match of the 7th Women's Junior Asia Cup. India managed to keep the ball in the early minutes, but China's 3 back-to-back goals through penalty corners made all the difference. India have won 2 pool matches against North Korea and Singapore and will now face Malaysia in their last Pool A match today. That's it on this edition of the Breakfast News. Have a nice day.